Hello and welcome to the East Lampeter Township Public Meeting. All participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the Township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the Township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the Township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the Township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
Okay, call the meeting to order. It's date and time, and we'll stand, I guess, first for the. Which is standing. With liberty and justice. Thank you. So I think we all know each other here, but just for the record, I guess, my name is Paul Fisher. I am the, vice chairman of the committee. Since our chairman, Eric Bergstrom, couldn't make it this evening, I'll be, overseeing the meeting. So I guess we'll start by going around the room here first, identifying ourselves, and if you don't mind starting there, Sherman.
Fire company. Jason Bauer, Lafayette Fire Company.
Melanie McHenry, wrong citizen.
Yeah, Peter Grunberg, and Citizen.
Mike Thornton, Board of Supervisors.
Jay Gerber, Wrong Fire Company.
Chad Engler, Whitmer, Citizen.
Tara Hitchens, East Lampeter Township.
Okay, and then do we have anybody on this, I guess anybody on Zoom, or do we?
Susan Yoder and Susie Sutton on Zoom.
Okay, so I don't know if we need a official roll call with them, or if that's good enough.
Susan, can you hear us?
I can. Susan Yoder, citizen rep.
Right, thank you. And then I think we'll do the audience right away. So Roger, go ahead.
Hunter Road, Board of Supervisors.
Good morning, Andy, Fire Company.
Dean Church, Ross Fire.
Steve Keynes, Lafayette Fire Company. Dakota Hope, Whitmer Fire Company.
Okay, thank you. All right, then the first or next order of business will be the minutes from the previous meeting. Did everyone get a copy of those? Get a chance to look at them? Is there any discussion on that? Comment, corrections, additions?
Correction.
Yes.
Under the Human Resources Report, Lafayette handed out applications, has received several applicants from junior firefighters. That's one application.
One application, okay. All right. We'll make that correction. Are there any other corrections or additions? Okay. Well.
And Susie Sutton is Lafayette. I believe it says wrong. Very first.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes with those corrections.
Second.
Moved and second. Any further comment? All in favor of approving them, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, they're approved. Thank you. And we'll go to old business, item A there, report from apparatus replacement committees, starting with hand in hand for engine 41. I can give an update on that. So we went through that at last meeting, and we did take it through the rest of the process. We presented it to the Board of Supervisors, I think at their next meeting, and received approval for that. So at this point, it's kind of a waiting game. We just kind of wait. We did sign the contract, so everything is done. It's just a matter now of Pierce's lead time until they're still saying around 4 years. So they basically told us to put it on the shelf for 2 years and don't even bother looking at it, because even if you decide to change something, there's really no reason to even talk about it for a couple of years. So that's kind of where it stands. It seems a little strange, but in the past, it's been maybe, I don't know, a year or so, 16 months. That's where we're at. So that's all I have there, unless anybody has any questions on that. If not, then we'll go to Lafayette's ladder truck replacement.
Yeah, so committee's still working at building out a spec. Hoping to get that out for bid here, probably 30 to 60 days. Hopefully, it might be a little aggressive, but
60,
um,
end of the year.
the end of the year is a goal to have that out and do where things come back. They're meeting bi-monthly now instead of once a month now instead of monthly, just to kind of help speed the process up, given the lead times. You know, again, we were just preliminarily quoted at probably around 3 years, give or take. So kind of puts us at 2026, which is when it was slated for replacement under the schedule. It may very well push to 2027, depending what happens. But that's pretty much where it's at. So they're looking to build that spec, get it out to bid, get some competitive bids back and go from there.
Okay, thanks for that, Jason. Any questions, any comments? Okay, and we'll go to item B there, Public Information Subcommittee report. So we did submit the next article or articles for the next newsletter. Tara, when will that be going out?
Mid-October, and mailbox.
So that has been submitted to committee and met, and I think a couple of times went over that. It'll be a 2-page article, I believe, again. First page will be on fire prevention, kind of going over a typical homeowner type situation and pointing out some things they ought to be on the lookout for. And then the second page was for an appeal for donation. Consider making a donation to your local volunteer company. Since we're getting towards the end of the year, it's usually a good time to ask for that. So Dakota, I see you're here in the audience. You want to add anything? You're on the committee. I don't know if you have anything.
I think you summed it up pretty well.
Okay. We have another meeting scheduled. I looked at my calendar. I think it's coming up here maybe in October. I don't know that we have, I know we have some topics kind of on the drawing board, but I don't think we have anything set in stone for the next one. So
October 4th.
October 4th. Okay, thank you. So if anybody has any ideas, suggestions, yeah, let us know. Let your representative know, or you can let Dakota and myself know here this evening. I think we're looking at probably not the next one, but maybe the following one, doing an article about our firefighter of the year for each fire company, maybe doing featuring them a little bit. So it's a couple of things there, but nothing for the next one. Yes, Steve.
It doesn't have to be the next letter, but maybe in the spring, just take a look at I know the 4 fire companies combined their financials over the year, and they turn that into the township for review by the committee. And what I was thinking was more of what the fire service costs and then what the rate of return is from donations. Because I know Lafayette tracks about 10% in donations from the community.
Right?
So if we could, that committee, that would be great.
Sure. All right. Anybody else have anything for us to consider on that? Okay, if not, then we'll keep moving. The committee organization, finance and human resources committees. I don't have a whole lot of information on that. I reached out to Eric, I think a couple of weeks ago, and he was still working on it. I think when I had spoken to him, actually, it was more like a month ago already. When I submitted our hand in hands personnel for those 2 committees and asked him how the progress was going, he said he was still waiting to hear back from some of the other companies. And then I tried to contact him again this week, and I was not able to get a hold of him. So I guess I'm kind of opening it up. I don't have a whole lot for the committee. I guess my question is, have the other companies had a chance to appoint people, or were we? And I don't know, Tara, if you know, or if Hutch had mentioned that at all. I did not get a chance to talk to him about it either.
We did receive, I think, one other by email.
Yeah.
I had submitted ours to Eric directly, copy anybody else.
So can we maybe just go over a list of the names? I can start with hand in hand. So on the finance committee, it would be myself and Ivan Stolzfus. And then on the human resources committee, it will be Mark Byler and Jerry Petersheim. So yeah, if you don't mind, maybe going next, Lafayette, and then we'll.
Yeah, finance will be myself and Mike Borelli. And then HR, we have Dylan Lee. I'd actually had 4 names in for HR because of the email I got. We can certainly pare it down. Might be advantageous too, I think. That's just my thought, but we were looking at Brad Bell, Susie Sutton, Dylan Lead, and Joe Smith.
Okay. Whitmer, did you have, people?
Yeah, second here. Okay, yeah, for the finance committee, Matt Bono and Chris Miller for the responder. And I have, Desiree Kramer in the support group.
Okay. Okay. And Ross?
Finance committee will be Donover and Homer Fisher, and the human resources will be.
Elmer Stills? Fisher. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for getting everything, getting people back for that. So I guess the next question, I guess 2 questions that come to my mind. Number one is, there was a little bit of discussion about the human resources. I think at the last meeting, we had left it that there was going to be an HR committee, subcommittee, and a finance subcommittee. And then I think in Eric's subsequent email, he mentioned or suggested the idea of maybe creating 2 related committees under HR, one for active or for like active fire to recruit active firefighters, and another one to recruit more of your kind of I guess support staff, that type of thing. And I know he and I had a little bit of a conversation about that, and I told him I'm fine with that. I certainly, don't necessarily object to that. My only concern was, I know for us, when we do recruitment retention, for the most part, we kind of do, like, it's a little hard to separate those two. Like when we're recruiting somebody, the same person may be interested in both of those. So my suggestion was maybe to at least start with a combined committee. And then if that committee would see fit at some point that, there's enough of a divergence, maybe we could split it at that point. That's just my thoughts. I guess I'd like to hear what the other companies think of that. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what Eric's, other than the conversation I had with him, he seemed to be fine with at least beginning with that. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that was kind of the conversation we had. So I guess I'm looking for feedback from the other companies' thoughts on that, 1 versus 2 for HR.
Be good with 1, just from the standpoint of getting enough people to be involved. So we recruit kind of the same way. We recruit for both at the same time.
I think there's going to be a lot of overlap there in strategies. So, Sherman, what's Whitmer's thoughts on that?
Good, you answer on that?
I would agree with Jason, the combined.
Okay.
When we're doing national night out, we're talking.
Okay.
Looking for different versions.
Okay. And Ross?
That's fine. We don't support people. We don't do fundraising. We don't do any of that. So we don't need support people. So.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're kind of on the same page there. So if we have the personnel, we kind of know where we're going in that direction, I guess. Question for Mike or for Tara. So do we officially appoint that committee here this evening? Do we wait until Eric's back, the chairman's back the next? So what's the process to actually get him to make it official and get it started?
You don't have to wait for Eric to return. You've all listed who's going to be on the committees, and so you can begin to meet.
Okay.
I know that it was shared with Eric that Hutch would like to be on the
I was gonna
finance
ask about that.
because he's got a history. The funds are coming from the township's perspective.
Okay. So then I guess, yeah, we'll make those the official committees. And then I guess the last question I have is, when is a good time to meet for everyone? Can we set a couple of dates this evening? Or should we do it by email, or what
When
do
we
you say?
send the contact information to Tara or Hutch and let them send it out, because I don't want to speak for our reps because they're not here.
Okay. And then maybe-
Get an email chain going and say, when's it suit?
That'd be fine, because I think it's the same way for us. And obviously I don't know when it suits all these people, so that might be
And
good.
that hasn't been shared yet with Eric. I would assume that's the only question I'd have if Eric had ideas on that, but I think folks here would probably say if he was
Yeah.
talking that already.
Yeah, I don't, I said, other than the conversation I had with him, finding the two HR committees into one, he seemed to be fine with that, but other than that, I did not really have a lot of communication with him. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that might be a good thing to do is have the township staff reach out and then maybe even just begin with Eric and make sure that he's okay with it, and then we'll let him kind of take it from there. So probably nice to get it started here before too long, but good. So that being said, does anyone else have anything else on the subcommittees to add to that? On the same page there? Okay, then we'll keep going here. And then I have on item D, a report on the Barnstormers game. Name there, I guess that would be Township.
So Lafayette and Whitmer were there, or excuse me, Bronx were there with apparatus, and Bird in Hand had folks there as well. The staff at the Barnstormers sent us the wrong link for tickets. And so we missed out on a number of purchases going towards the fundraiser. So the checks you get will not be large at all. They recognize that mistake, but could do nothing to fix it.
So tickets that should have been attributed to us for some people because of the link were not. They did the same thing one time for the school. I do know they have a lot of people going in and out of there in terms of their staff, but still, I mean, the whole idea is to motivate people to come and.
So I can't really tell you how many people showed up for Eastland or.
Couldn't make it that evening, but I don't know, what was the crowd size like, or the normal crowd, I guess. I don't know what they get at a typical game either.
I honestly don't know what they get at a typical game.
It wasn't too bad for, midday. What day was it? It was
a Saturday.
Saturday, and they have a couple of games. I think, by the time, the second or third inning is when you really can tell who's there. And it didn't seem like a bad crowd. I mean, a lot of the boxes were full, but decent crowd for late summer.
Right. Okay, and then moving on to item number 5 is new business. And we start with the poll of the township.
So if you'll continue to provide driver updates, that would be fantastic, and fuel receipts in timely fashion. I appreciate greatly the spill reports coming in from everyone, so please continue to do that. The fire companies will need to submit their capital projects that are planned for next year that are over 7,500 by October 1st. At the same time, the township will look to distribute the Fire Relief Association funds to the fire companies. We have a couple of highway projects coming up here. So everyone, I'm sure, is aware of Walnut Street Extension. That is coming to a close next Friday. So around 3 p.m. that will be open to the public. The fire pipe on the bridge is actually being installed on Tuesday. The intersection of 896 and Route 30 and then eastbound is being resurfaced, and that's actually going out to bid at the end of the month. I think we've talked about the culvert along the Peckway there on 30 at Sautersburg. That's going to be bid in the fall of this year, so later this year. We did a community survey. I'm sure some of you took it because I know I mentioned it at this meeting a number of months ago. The rating for fire EMS and for police services here in the township all came back as very, very highly ranked by the participants of the survey. We received a letter from Peckway Valley Fire Department and their regionalization that has occurred there, that it's finalized. And we received a letter from Brett indicating his resignation as the deputy EMC. We have hired a human resources and communications person. Her name is Lillian Renaro. So she will be your contact if there's any workers' comp issues. So don't be surprised if you see that name come across your email. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Tara. And we will poll the township fire companies. I guess we usually go in alphabetical order. So I'll go first for Hand in Hand. I don't have a whole lot to report other than just on the administrative side. We did have a couple of fundraisers since the last meeting at our chicken barbecue on Labor Day weekend and had a pretty smooth event, pretty good turnout. And then we had our half marathon event the following weekend. And again, everything went pretty well. Had a successful event. I think we probably had a record crowd in terms of the participants. A little bit of hot weather, but this time around it didn't seem to go too bad. So yeah, I think we're pretty well done with our fundraising for the year now. So give us a little bit of a break before going into the end of the year here. But I don't see our chief here, so I don't think he did not give me anything to report on the firefighting side. So I think that's all I have. And we'll go to Lafayette.
Yeah, things continue on. The different public relation events. A lot of the stuff we're doing here in the fall is school related. It's college level or elementary, high school. A number of different appearances we're making with that. Of course, it's kind of our slower time of the year for fundraisers. Most of the stuff we do is spring and summer. We do have one big one left for the year. That is the Extra Give, which we participated in, continues to steadily grow every year. We team up with companies for that event and a number of things that they assist us with. So I'm starting to work on that. Additionally, of course, we do a holiday fund drive mailer. From an operations perspective, we are looking at replacing some hose that's pretty much about at the end of its life, some supply hose. Additionally, applications seem a little slower this time of year than it did last year. Getting a few here and there, one or two, quite as strong as it was last fall. And also continue to work at building out basically a capital campaign towards the ladder truck replacements. And that's, we're looking to kick off with that sometime Q1 next year, kind of in the planning phase currently. Kind of model we're using for that is to handpick a couple of key individuals, business individuals in the community to kind of help drive that for us just from a word of mouth perspective, to secure some contributions and then go public with it sometime Q1, Q2 next year, broader appeal. So that's kind of what's on the table right now. And yeah, keep moving forward.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Jason. Ross?
The only thing we had is we submitted our paperwork and everything for the state fire commissioners grant. That was submitted and we actually got our approval. We just do not know the dollar amount that we issued. That was.
Okay. Thank you. And Whitmer?
I didn't get anything from the chief. I know we got October 21st, was it Dakota? It's the October's. You know anything you want?
We have in October the 10th, we have our file. Does child immunization at the station. We have October 11th, the blood drive. Like he said, the 21st for the Oxford. We're doing multiple events in October as well with public relations side. October 11th, we are doing the CB bonfire. October 20 is the trunk or treat at Fritz Elementary School. And that is it.
Okay, thanks, Dakota. Anything else, Sherman? You good? Okay, thank you. Then we'll go to, well, I guess we should poll the citizen reps as well. Melanie, do you have anything?
No.
Okay, John? When we get to you, Mike, but do you want to go now? Do you have any?
Sure. Roger and I were able to attend the PSAT's regional forum this week at the Eden. That's the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors. They had a session on emergency preparedness, which I wanted to go to, and they also had the hot topics in fire companies. Unfortunately, that one got canceled. The person who was presenting couldn't make it, but new appreciation for the role, especially of our chiefs, and how much responsibility they have. When an emergency happens, they used 4 different scenarios to go through that happened in Pennsylvania. 2 of them, maybe some of you remember the Hershey train derailment right near Hershey Park. And that was several years ago, and a chemical explosion in the Lehigh Valley, and obviously various ones that are related to tanker trucks and all kinds of roadway problems. But very good review of the strategies that, planning is everything. And as the gentleman said, just like a football game, you got the greatest plan in the world until the first play, and then things have to be adjusted. So, just new appreciation for what our volunteer fire companies do in those situations that are very non-traditional. Maybe some things seem like they're traditional. I don't think anything is quite the same, but those things are really testing the preparedness. So, and I thought, just what I've heard from our fire companies, that we are well prepared and good training, people that really understand what's happening in different scenarios and reviewing those things. But we just had a train incident a few weeks ago. Is that right? There's no loss of life, but that's all. I don't know if we had any, Roger, that was related. No.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mike. Chad, do you have anything?
Just a comment. I received the newsletter at my home this time, the paper copy, and read the article at the Sun. I think it's well done, very additional.
Thank you. Okay, and then I think on Zoom we have Susan. Did Susan have anything for us?
Nothing for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I think Tara, did you have anything else? You were under.
I don't have anything more.
Okay, and we'll go to public comment. Anybody have any public comment? Yes, Dave.
One on the agenda, the dates that are behind the apparatus for the replacement schedule. The ladder truck for Lafayette, that should be 2026.
Okay. I guess we need to probably, 26, maybe 27, I'm not sure. Close enough. Okay, any other public comment? If not, unless I'm missing something, hopefully I'm not, then I would entertain a motion for adjournment. Motion by Sherman, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Melanie. Any further comment? If not, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.